This podcast is part of the Pull Up a Chair podcast network. Let's build community through connection, conversation, and collaboration.
Hi, I'm V.
And I'm Ryan.
Welcome to Cringe With Me. Do you shudder internally when you witness a Karen going off on some innocent service industry worker?
Do you consume bad fan fiction and or have tattoos from your favorite shows?
Do you strain to listen in on awkward date stories?
Is your family the worst and you just don't want to feel alone?
Then we have the podcast for you. Cringe With Me. And we're back again. New year, new intro.
Same people, though.
Same people.
Same people. Not new us. Same us.
Are you sure?
I mean,
Feels
I'm not a new person that I'm aware of. Although, if I had been replaced by a clone of myself, I probably wouldn't know. So,
hopefully you wouldn't know. Could you imagine how horrifying that would be if you knew you were a clone?
Yeah, I think that's the premise of a movie with, what's the guy? Ant-Man?
Oh, I'll have
Paul Rudd?
Paul Rudd.
Yeah. I think there's a Netflix movie about him where he clones himself into a happier version of himself, and then he finds out
I would love to be a happier me.
I think it's called Living with Yourself.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're here about today.
No, it's not.
We're going to start this year off with a bang. I know last year I won the overall. I'm going to win the overall again this year. But for January, we're going to start off with the winning post for January. I know this is going to be the winning post.
Well, that's alright. I got all the consolation prizes.
You did. You did. This is another gem that I found on Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
It was reposted by somebody other than the OP on r/best of Redditor updates.
Ooh, okay. Those are always fun.
Yeah, so these are always fun.
This is the same way you found the winner from last year.
Yes, this is the same way. This is my gold mine.
Alright.
And I am going to use and abuse her. That didn't come out right.
No, it didn't. That did not. I don't think that was the message you wanted to send. But you know what? Go ahead. Keep going.
I'm just
Take
gonna
that
roll
whole
with it.
little deeper.
Alright. So, the original post was titled, "My 10 years younger sister is trying to seduce my husband and I'm freaking out.
Oof. Already so much wrong with this. So let's just go.
I'm a 30-year-old female and my sister is 20 years old. She started college in the city my husband, who's 28, and I live in. There's a housing shortage here, and getting your own place may take anywhere from 2 to 3 years sometimes. So she moved in with us. We have a 4-bedroom apartment. She moved in the last week of November, and everything was great at first. Later, I started noticing that she is very, quote-unquote, affectionate with my husband. When he works from home, she is home that day, making him sandwiches, coffee, etc. She never uses the shower in her room because it's too small. Instead, she uses the bigger one in the hall so that she can walk around in just a towel. Sometimes going into the kitchen to make tea while my husband is tidying up after dinner. She stands there in just a towel, chit-chatting. It feels so weird and perverted, to be honest. I mean, she's my baby sister. I thought at first I was overreacting because I seemed to be the only one noticing anything weird. I spoke to my mom about it, and she says it's all in my head because my husband loves me and my sister loves me, and I'm just feeling insecure because I'm fat and pregnant. Which is just like, ouch.
Yeah, okay, that's a thing to throw in there.
Fat and pregnant. I'm having a difficult pregnancy, so yesterday I took a day off and stayed in bed. My husband was working from home, and my sister didn't know I was home. She came home from the gym, and she brought lunch with her. She called for my husband to join her, and I heard her loudly saying, "I bet you wish you had a wife that took care of you like this." I went into the kitchen, and she was in just a sports bra and very teeny tiny shorts. She was like, "Oh, I didn't know you were here," and she took her lunch and went to her room. I don't know what to do about the situation. I have mentioned this once to her about her walking around in a towel, but she laughed it off saying that I was imagining things because I'm insecure. Again, I'm fat and pregnant. If I kicked her out, it would mean that she couldn't continue with her studies this year because my parents live 5 hours away. I'm not worried about my husband, but I think what she's doing is disrespectful. And for it to continue 1, maybe 2 more years is honestly too exhausting for me to even think about. What the fuck is wrong with her? She used to be my baby girl.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's a rough start. I'm assuming there's a part 2 to this.
There is a part 2 because it's best of Redditor update. So what is your opinion on just part 1?
Well, I like that she's not immediately jumping on her husband. I like that it's like, well, I trust my husband. I think he's not doing anything. So that's good. That's refreshing. I always like when people trust their spouses. And so far it hasn't seemed like the husband has done anything. I mean, maybe like from that description, it sounded like the husband wasn't a part of this other than just not...
He's existing
in
the
he's
same
existing
space.
in the space, but he doesn't seem to be involved. The sister's behavior definitely feels a little weird, but I could also see this as the construct of a paranoid mind, right? I could see it being either way. Like, maybe this girl is doing stuff intentionally and is trying to do things, especially that last comment, right? That's the one where it's like, ooh, okay, now this feels intentional.
Yeah.
But if she hadn't included that last bit about the, I bet you wish you had a wife who did this for you, I would be like, I think you're paranoid. Like, maybe she's comfortable around you guys, and that's why she walked around a towel or whatever. But if she's not actively hitting on your husband and your husband is not responding to this in any way, I wouldn't think twice about it, personally. Yeah. But I could see how there's definitely, the door is open, right? Yeah. The possibility is there. So let's get the update.
Okay. Update time. Since my mother and sister dismissed me, I talked to my husband, in parentheses, thank you so much for suggesting that.
Wow, she hadn't talked to her husband about it?
I guess not, and I guess the comment section...
My faith in her drops a little bit.
I guess the comment section on the original post was like, yo, talk to the man. And so she did, which is just like, I don't get being married to somebody and not wanting to talk to him about the issues.
It's the first person I would talk to. I would talk to them about it before I would talk to my sister about it.
Yeah.
It'd be like, hey, do you think that this is weird? Do you think that they're coming on to you? Have you felt anything inappropriate from them? And, get their reaction.
Yeah. All right. He told me that he had noticed my sister acting weird around him. He was, however, very uncomfortable with talking to me about it, since it was my idea that she would live with us.
Oh, okay, well that's sweet.
Yeah. I might think he's making things up to kick my sister out, or that's what he thought I would think. He said the day that he's been working from home, she's always home, walking around in just her underwear if she can get away with it. He asked her on a number of occasions to put on more clothing. She laughed it off and asked him if he's not used to being around a confident, beautiful woman. She also talked me down in front of him, commenting things like my bad posture, my old age, or my fat belly.
Wow. Some sister.
Right. Oh. She also said things like, I wonder if she'll ever be able to lose all that baby weight.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, this is malicious in a way that makes me think there's something else wrong with their sister relationship, right? Like, that's not how you treat a sibling. That's some weird competitive stuff, right? Yeah. Like, maybe they were competitive anyway. A lot of siblings are, but this feels like a very different narrative we're getting now.
I was appalled. What the fuck is wrong with my sister? I have never had problems with her, and I always took care of her growing up. I decided that she must leave. I have been trying to find a place for her in the city, and I know that one of my colleagues' grandmothers rents out rooms for students. She lives near campus, and it would be perfect for her. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to break the news myself to her because by knowing what she would say, that I'm the one that's jealous and not her, and I'm threatened by her. And it's in one of those weird fonts where they like jump between capital letters and lowercase letters.
Oh, yes. Sarcasm.
Yeah.
That's the new sarcasm
Is
font.
that the new sarcasm?
It's the new sarcasm font, yeah.
Oh, it is, okay.
It used to be italics. Yeah. I don't know why it became... The capitals and lowercase thing intermittently, I think, comes from the SpongeBob meme. SpongeBob's all bent over and has the weird face.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yep, gotta know your memes.
I do. I'm out of sorts. We haven't met in a bit, so I'm out of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so I asked my husband to talk to her. Apparently, she broke down crying and asked him if I put him up to this. He told her that this was his apartment as much as it is mine, and he's not comfortable having her around. He told her about the new arrangement that we've made, but if she didn't like it, she was welcome to find a place on her own or move back in with our parents. She's getting until the end of the month to decide what she wants to do. Today she was so angry with me. She told me that if my husband really loved me, I wouldn't have felt so threatened by her. She was also mad because now she will have to pay rent and live in a smaller room. I don't know. I feel sorry for her, but I'm honestly shocked at how callous she is. When did this happen? Only yesterday she was my baby, who wanted me to come home for the holidays and try on my new clothes and makeup, and now she's shut in her room, only speaking to me to call me pathetic and insecure. I'm so miserable right now, but very happy I married my husband.
Yeah, I mean, this doesn't seem that cringe to me. I mean, okay, so her behavior seems cringe, but I'm delightfully surprised by the husband and wife. Like, I feel like the wife tried to be like, am I being crazy? Like, am I seeing things that aren't there? I'm going to check on, like, ask for outside opinions or whatever. And I'm glad the husband's like, yeah, this also made me uncomfortable, but I don't want to say anything because I don't want you to think I was trying to get her out of here, but, like, yeah, we should get her out of here. That made me feel very good. But yeah, the sister, there's something going on there, right?
I guess the little sister must have always felt jealous, and the older sister never noticed because of the age gap.
Maybe. I mean, so the way that she is attacking her sister, so the way the younger sister is attacking her older sister, with the name calling and the disparaging comments about her weight and, you know, how she takes care of her husband, etc., those all seem to me like someone who is insecure trying to compensate, right? So maybe you're right. Maybe she always felt like the less appealing of the two of them growing up, and maybe she's very jealous of the husband, who's apparently rock star, great.
Yeah, he's
so,
awesome.
Like, yeah, it sounds like maybe she's like, wow, you have a great husband and blah, blah, blah. I want this because I'm insecure, and so now I'm going to create this comparison to try to make me look like the better one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does that...
It makes sense, especially since if we go to the first post, she called herself fat and pregnant twice.
Yeah, which, how much of that is what she's been telling herself and how much of that is what she's hearing from her sister?
Exactly, and like you pointed out, there's a font for sarcasm now, and she didn't use that font when talking about her being fat and pregnant, because if she did, then it would be like, obviously she just jokes about it and she doesn't think it's a big deal. But without it being explicitly sarcasm, it's hard to tell how she actually feels about her weight being pregnant. And I know for a lot of women, like, that's a really big deal.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I've never been pregnant, but I hear that that is a point of difficulty during pregnancy.
You've never been pregnant?
Yes, I know, shocking.
Oh, wow. This changed my whole perspective on you. I thought you just had a litter of them at home.
Yep, whole litter. No, it's one of those things where I feel like it's just it feels like a cry for help, and then it also feels like this person's very childish.
I mean, she's...
like they're throwing a tantrum
she's 20.
Instead of trying to fix the behavior, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, don't do this thing. I'm going to keep doing this thing because I'm right and you're wrong. Oh, now you're kicking me out about it? You're obviously just insecure. And not taking accountability for their own behavior. Like, oh, I'm making my sister and her husband uncomfortable. Maybe I should change my behavior.
It sounds like she's a really young 20.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not someone I would want to associate with. And honestly, if I were either of the married couple here, I would be pushing for the same thing. I'd be getting this person out of my life because they're not an adult, and no one wants to take care of a big child who is doing inappropriate things while they're trying to bring a new child into their life.
Yeah, I mean, it's a wonderful learning lesson for the younger sister.
Assuming she learns anything from it.
I mean,
it's an opportunity.
Hopefully. You're right. It is an opportunity. I just think getting kicked out of your sister's house only a couple months into the semester gotta teach you something. Eventually, you might not think of it right away. For the first year or two, you might be like, my sister's butthole. But eventually, hopefully, you'd be like, you know what? I should have been better.
Let us hope that is what she sees upon reflection of this sometime later.
Usually you're the optimist with these kind of things.
I believe everyone is capable of good. I do not believe everyone does it. When someone exhibits that kind of behavior, I do not expect change from them. Obviously, I am hopeful for it, but, I've known a lot of adults that never grew out of that, so...
Oh, well, I guess we'll leave on that bummer note, guys. Thank you. Welcome to the first of the year. As with every month, in case this is your first time listening in, what we do is we take turns finding the cringy internet stuff. At the end of the month, I post a poll on the internet. You guys respond to the poll. And then we know by the end, the beginning of the next following month, who was the cringier. And at the end of the year, in December, we show down to see who wins.
Yes. There is monthly winners, there are yearly winners, there are fun little side categories.
So far, I'm the ultimate winner of last year.
Yeah.
You might have won more, but I won biggest.
You got gold, and I have a bunch of bronze and silvers.
Yeah, so we'll see who wins this month.
Yes.
It's my birthday month, guys. Just gonna throw that out there. You should be extra nice to me.
No, don't be nice to her because it's her birthday.
Yes.
You vote honestly and with integrity.
Sure. Wink, wink.
The sure was in capital and undercase letters alternating.
All right, we're gonna get off. Bye.
Goodbye.
Thanks for listening. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Cringe With Me.
Go follow us so you can vote every month on which story you thought was the cringiest.
I'm gonna win.
No, I'm going to win.
Hello, I'm Patrick.
And I'm Andrew. And I'm Christian.
And I'm Allie.
And we are Rad Theater, a podcast where a bunch of friends play role-playing games and share a single brain cell, and the GM doesn't always have it. Oh, and it's theater spelled the correct way, Theatre.